It was creative. It was radical. Um, yeah, there was something just really like you can't take your eyes off the screen. There was something so fascinating about seeing women act in this like obnoxious way that men, high powered men, will do. Um, yeah, and it's kind of just like interesting, and uncomfortable. Um, it's uncomfortable in a different way. Like if I was watching this and it was men playing it, it would be uncomfortable for that reason. But I think that there's just this extra layer of like, this isn't right. This isn't how it's supposed to be. And I think that's kind of the point, right? It's flipping things on its head. And makes you question like, but why are there different rules for men and women? Not that like that behavior is acceptable for anybody, but just when you're so used to seeing it come from one type of person and then seeing it another way, it's almost like it can feel like it's more vulgar, and it's like, but that's not. Yeah. So anyways, I hope that made sense, but I think it's a piece that really makes you think and just see things like literally from a different perspective.
This short kind of emphasizes the patriarchy society that we live in. Yet they add a twist to it. It's a gender role reversal, so to speak. It's a group of women who end up playing these roles of men who live in Los Angeles on the way to an award show. They point fun at a bunch of rich white men doing cocaine and making movies. And so they have these instances where they talk about diversity. They play up these tropes of what it's like to be a man. They all wear suits, none of them wear a dress. It's this androgynous look that each of the cast members take on. And it's really funny and built with, satire.
It was so clever. I loved the way that they flipped the script and made them all women. I thought that was a really clever way to do a parody. Camera work was great. The shots that they did inside the limousine were really clear and good and crisp. I mean, and that's a hard thing to do. It's a limo, but trying to have that many people in there and do camera work, it's really hard to make it look good. And they did. I like the music that they selected. I thought that they did a great job.
Gender switch role in this one. So all the women, they act like men usually act. So we see basically how men, especially men with money, men with power, really act, enjoy their life without thinking that they are the best ones, thinking that they are on top of the world and they are allowed to do anything they want. But we see all these one from a different perspective, from a group of women acting in the same, and the message is quite clear. It's like, what would happen if women start behaving like men, especially like powerful men? So I think overall there was a funny story behind, but also very powerful and very meaningful. And I think the overall connection between the acting, the setting, the scenario, and the direction, and managed to create a very interesting story that stays in only one location, actually stays in one limousine from start to finish. That's the power of the story.
I thought it was a really funny concept. I loved the idea of the gender swap, just to show how ridiculous the idea of a boys' club is and how much it can alienate female coworkers and, women trying to break into these fields that have all these boys' clubs. So I really appreciated the concept behind this. I thought it was really well done. I loved the traffic stop situation, how they were using humiliation and things to sort of get out of it. The fact that the minority in the situation was the white man begging for representation in the film. Just a lot of social commentary in this film that was, brought to light through comedy, which I always love. Social comedy, social commentary in comedic films. I think it's really effective in that way, and I thought this film did a really great job with that as well.
Very interesting take on, on being on these type of men in this industry. I thought the opening was really nice too. In the car, the limo pulling forward and then revealing the name, the title. I think it was the director's name, actually, the credit that was up on the screen. I thought that was a really cool effect, actually. Yeah, overall, well done. Everybody was really committed to their parts. I just wasn't sure how I felt about it. I think it was interesting and kind of makes you think. Yeah. It was different. So very creative. I thought very creative, and good job with the production value on this too, and having really just one location inside the limo, because that can be really difficult to pull off. Great job.
Definitely unique, putting the whole story within a limo to show what the film industry is really like by putting women in male roles. And it shows exactly what men sometimes sound like when they're all on their own in the boys' club. This film, I think, nailed that pretty well, parroting what men do by showing how awful it actually sounds. Other than that, it was really humorous to watch.